We saw you sit in the car for a while before getting out at the end of that race. What was kind of running through your mind? Because you don't normally do that. And I mean, ultimately, what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks?
So it's official. Daniel Ricciardo's time as a V-Carb race driver is over, with the Australian set to make way for Liam Lawson.
I know how it is and how it works, and I knew there was always going to be some, let's say, dates and deadlines this year, whether it was like summer break or now post-Singapore.
So, the Singapore Grand Prix came and went, and what a race it was. Lando Norris dominated the race, starting from pole and leading every lap from start to finish. But all eyes were on Daniel Ricciardo, because after a long season of being consistently outpaced by Yuki Tsunoda, the rumors suggested that this would be his last chance.
I've been here before in terms of, obviously there's always been some speculation in the last few years, and obviously I was in this position with McLaren, and then I guess there's you build a little bit of probably a tolerance to it or a thick skin. So, but also I'm not the only one. 1 week it's me, the next week it's another driver that's fighting for their career. So it's also just how it goes. It's the merry-go-round of the sport. But that's it. That's what I signed up for.
And the rumors were proven correct, because the week after, V-Carb announced that it's parting ways with Daniel Ricciardo in exchange for Liam Lawson racing the remaining 6 races of the season. And to be honest, Daniel Ricciardo was struggling this race, being overtaken many times throughout this Grand Prix.
This is on board with Daniel Ricciardo heading through turn 10, and Esteban Ocon elbows his way by.
It's easy to forget. So does Magnussen. Whoa, don't see too many coming through there, sneaking past.
Hey, McQueen, you all right? Listen, don't you worry, pal. You had a good run. Enjoy your retirement.
Storm takes back the lead. Unbelievable! McQueen is fading!
However, Danny Ric did not go down without a fight, going for the fastest lap for the Singapore Grand Prix and achieving it. This means 1 less point for Lando. It's a significant one, considering now Lando can win every single race for the remaining of the season, and Max would still win the championship.
And your old pal Daniel picked up a fastest lap at the end as well, Max.
Thank you, Daniel.
Well, now you might be wondering, well, why drop him in the middle of the season instead of letting him continue if he's still somewhat performing alright?
We need answers for the bigger picture in terms of drivers, and of course, with 6 races remaining, it's a perfect opportunity to line Liam up alongside Yuki to see how he performs over the remaining 6 Grand Prix. Obviously, we've got a contract with Sergio for next year, but you've always got to have an eye out in terms of what comes next. He knows in his heart he gave it his best shot, and he's had a great career. He's had a great run, but unfortunately, the next chapter wasn't to be.
He deserves a really nice send-off if it was his last weekend, and this kind of like, we don't actually know what's going on. That was not. But again, we don't even know if it's going to happen. So, yeah, that's not a nice situation. He deserves better than that.
I think almost all fans agree, however, that this should have been made public way before the Singapore Grand Prix, since the decision was already taken, as Liam had already known for weeks prior that he'd be replacing Danny.
It now finally does sort of feel real. Obviously, I knew about it for the last sort of probably 2 weeks. But until it's out there to the world, it's obviously doesn't ever really feel set in stone, and I couldn't tell anybody. So no, it's a very cool feeling.
It's all been. I've never felt in competition with him, which is strange because I have been, and as we all sort of are in competition with each other, whether we're in the seat or not. He's always been good to me. Obviously, Singapore was a bit rough. It wasn't an enjoyable weekend for I would say either of us, especially for Daniel. Both knowing what was coming and obviously him having to avoid answering questions, and I just avoided doing any interviews, to be honest, at all. So that side of it wasn't fun. But since Singapore as well, like after the race, he told me, he said good luck with everything. He said make sure you make the most of this opportunity, and that's how he's always been towards me, which has been honestly really cool.
Yeah, the cockpit is something that I got very very used to for many years, and yeah, just wanted to savor the moment.
All right, well, I hope we'll see you at Austin.
Thank you.
Danny Ricciardo has had a long and impressive F1 career, from his first win in Canada.
Danny Ricciardo becomes a new winner in Formula One.
You've won the Canadian Grand Prix, well done, your first win.
To his most famous in Monaco.
Today in Monte Carlo, it's redemption day for Daniel Ricciardo. He wins the Monaco Grand Prix.
Probably tomorrow. Redemption. He stands on top of the halo, and that's an image I think you'll see in your morning papers as well.
And his last one with McLaren back in Monza.
Red Bull, he went to Renault, he's gone to McLaren. It's McLaren and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix.
Yeah! He won! But he did it!
So then we can speculate what's next for Daniel Ricciardo. There is one seat still available on the F1 grid, that of Sauber's, to become Audi's. However, they're looking increasingly more likely to sign Bottas up with Hülkenberg for next year. There are rumors that he is thinking about going to NASCAR, and Christian Horner has said that he has offered Daniel Ricciardo an ambassadorial role at Red Bull.
I hope he stays around the sport, and we've made it very clear that we want him to remain in an ambassadorial capacity with the team.
But I wonder, why is everyone speculating? Danny Ric has already confirmed what he was going to do aside from F1 all the way back when he was still with Renault.
Which could be your next job?
Probably a male stripper.
Where? Because I want to see that.
But now it's time for the new generation of racers, and personally I'm very looking forward to seeing how Liam performs in the RB. Especially considering who his biggest inspiration is.
Like, the guy that got me into racing. The reason I became a racing driver. Like, Shane.
McQueen, what's your name?